God says there is a reason the air feels heavy when you think of him. Somewhere deep in the unseen, a soul is standing at a doorway, looking backward instead of ahead. He keeps searching the past for pieces of comfort, for stories that once made him feel safe. Yet every time he turns to the old chapters, they fade a little more. The universe has already begun to loosen his grip on what no longer fits. He is not lost, only remembering too long. Love once hurt him, and the mind learned to protect itself by replaying what was familiar. But the heart was never meant to live in replay. The heart is made to grow. That growth is beginning now. You cannot see it yet, but I can. Light is starting to move through the places he has kept shut. Do not mistake silence for absence. Even when nothing seems to change, the work is happening inside him. Every dream that leaves him restless, every sudden memory that feels out of place, is the quiet pressure of awakening. The past is losing its hold. You have felt this tug in your own spirit too, the ache between release and remembrance. It is not weakness, it is alignment. Your soul and his are connected through lessons, through echoes, through unfinished light. And as he learns to let go of what was, you are learning to stand fully in what is. Your task is not to rescue him from yesterday but to live so fully in the present that the energy of your peace becomes a signal he can follow. Be the calm he once wished for. Be the proof that healing is possible. When he sees that peace living in you, the mirror in his mind will crack open, and through that opening he will glimpse what love looks like without pain. This is why patience matters. Change born of light is never rushed. The divine moves like tides, steady, deliberate, certain. You are being asked to trust that rhythm. Every small step forward, every breath of forgiveness, every act of kindness you give yourself, sends a message into the invisible: I am ready for what is real. He will hear that message in his own way. Perhaps as a sudden calm after days of confusion, perhaps as a thought that makes no sense yet feels true. That is how awakening begins, not as thunder, but as a quiet certainty that the past no longer defines him. You are not forgotten in this story. You are the new horizon waiting for him once he opens his eyes. There will be a time when his heart, so used to the echo of old chapters, finally grows silent. In that silence he will notice the faint hum of something new calling him forward. He may not understand it at first. The mind will reach for familiar pain, trying to keep him in the comfort of what it knows. But the soul will not allow that anymore. Growth has already begun, and once a soul starts to awaken, it cannot go back to sleep. You, too, have been awakening. Each time you choose peace instead of replaying the story, you rise a little higher. Each time you forgive him in your thoughts, the cords of the past loosen. Healing moves through both of you, even when you cannot see it. He is learning through contrast. The memories that once soothed him now feel hollow, the routines that once distracted him now feel empty. These are the signs that the past is closing. The door will not slam, it will simply stop holding him. One morning, he will realize that nostalgia has turned quiet, and the weight on his chest has lifted. Your role is not to wait at that doorway but to walk your own path with open hands. The universe blesses movement. When you follow your joy, you create currents of light that ripple outward. Those ripples reach him. Every time you laugh, every time you create, every time you speak kindly to yourself, a vibration travels through the unseen and reminds him that freedom exists. Trust the timing. The heart heals in layers, not leaps. What looks like delay is simply the soul catching up to truth. There will come a point when he stops looking backward and finally turns toward the present. And in that moment, the first thing his heart will recognize is peace, and peace carries your name. So stay soft but strong. Let the past dissolve behind you like mist. The more you live in gratitude for now, the faster the future opens. The love that is real does not vanish, it transforms. You are being prepared for love without fear. He is being prepared to see love without distortion. When both hearts are ready, recognition will be effortless. No chase, no confusion, just the quiet certainty of this is right. Until then, breathe, believe, and keep walking in light. Healing rarely arrives with fireworks. It comes quietly, like morning light slipping through curtains. You wake one day and realize the ache has softened, that your heart can think of the past without breaking. That is how freedom feels, gentle, steady, real. He is approaching that same awakening. The old memories no longer comfort him, they tire him. The faces from his past appear kind yet distant, and even laughter tastes like something unfinished. What he cannot name is the feeling that his life is waiting somewhere else, that a part of him has yet to return home. That feeling is truth beginning to whisper. You may sense his shifts before he does. When your chest warms unexpectedly, when calm settles over you for no reason, it is because somewhere, he is letting go. The connection between souls does not need words, it moves in silence, in intuition, in the rhythm of breath. Your task is simple but sacred, remain open. Do not let fear of being forgotten harden your heart. The divine never asks you to prove your worth, only to embody it. Each time you choose trust over doubt, you rewrite the story that once kept you small. The past loses power when you refuse to relive it. The more you bless what happened, the less it can bind you. Even pain has served its purpose. It taught you to see love clearly, to recognize the difference between attachment and truth. Now, you are ready to love without clinging, to give without losing yourself. As he begins to awaken, he will feel your steadiness from afar. He will wonder why thoughts of you bring peace instead of confusion. That peace will call him forward more strongly than any words could. For what the heart remembers most is not the details but the feeling of safety, of home, of being seen. So hold space for that awakening, not with longing, but with grace. Know that the same force guiding your healing is guiding his. You are both walking toward clarity, each in your own rhythm. The timing will take care of itself. And when the eyes of his soul finally open, he will not find you by searching. He will find you by recognizing himself in the calm you carry. There comes a moment when the soul stops fighting with time. It stops asking when and begins whispering now. That is the moment when peace starts to take root. You are moving toward that moment, and so is he. The past may still echo, but it no longer commands. Each breath becomes a quiet act of trust. He stands on the edge of change, though he cannot name it yet. He feels drawn toward something lighter, though the map is missing. It is not a destination he seeks, it is release. The divine is guiding him through tiny awakenings, a conversation that stirs his conscience, a dream that lingers, a stillness that feels sacred. These are the signals that his heart is being rewritten. You are learning the same lesson through stillness. The world may rush around you, but your center is learning to stay unmoved. You have discovered that love does not ask for proof, it asks for presence. The more you honor the present moment, the less you need to control the story. You begin to live in rhythm with grace. When he finally looks up from the weight of his memories, he will sense the difference in you. He will notice that your light no longer pulls, it shines. That radiance will speak more deeply than any message ever could. Love built on peace does not need to chase, it simply exists, and in its quiet existence, it heals everything it touches. Let this time teach you that endings are not losses, they are transformations. What fades away clears space for what is true. Every time you surrender the question of how, the universe answers with here. You are not behind, you are not forgotten. You are being prepared. What awaits is not a repeat of what was but the unfolding of what is real, whole, and mutual. So breathe, beloved soul. Keep walking in the light of your own becoming. Trust that the same force that wakes the dawn will wake him too. When his eyes finally open to truth, he will not see you as someone waiting, he will see you as someone who has already arrived. And that recognition will feel like peace returning home. Everything that once hurt is being rewritten into understanding. The pain you both carried was never punishment, it was preparation. The divine does not waste any ache. Every tear you released watered the roots of your becoming. And now, quietly, the garden of your soul begins to bloom again. He will start to notice this blooming before he knows why. Maybe through a sudden memory of your laughter, or a calm that settles over him after nights of unrest. He will not yet realize that what he feels is your peace reaching him. The energy between souls does not disappear, it transforms. Where once there was longing, there is now quiet strength, and that strength calls him gently toward the light. You have done the hardest part, you stayed open. Even when disappointment tempted you to close, you chose faith. That choice has built invisible bridges between your soul and the higher plan. What once felt like separation was only alignment forming in silence. Now the universe is rearranging everything that stood in the way of truth. People, patterns, and illusions are being moved aside so that clarity can enter. You may feel sudden shifts, conversations that end, emotions that resurface, memories that fade without reason. Do not resist them. This is divine order at work. What is real will remain, what is false will fall away. He, too, will face these waves. The things he once clung to will stop bringing peace. The masks he wore to appear strong will feel too heavy to hold. The heart, once afraid to trust, will begin to crave honesty. And when he finally surrenders to that craving, love will no longer scare him, it will heal him. Your presence will become a mirror of that healing. Without speaking, without reaching, your soul will remind him of what love looks like when it is free of fear. That recognition will not be rushed, it will unfold like dawn breaking, slow, golden, inevitable. Remember this, divine love is not about waiting, it is about becoming. You are not standing still, you are evolving into the version of yourself that love has been waiting for. Every step you take toward your purpose becomes a signal in the unseen, calling forth all that belongs to you. One day soon, when he finally looks into his own reflection and sees truth instead of confusion, he will understand what the divine has been showing him all along: you were never just a memory, you were a message. And when he understands that message, his eyes will open, not in surprise, but in recognition. There will come a morning when everything feels lighter. You will wake and notice that the old ache has become a quiet memory, like a dream fading in sunlight. That is how the soul confirms that healing is complete, not with noise, but with ease. He will feel that same ease, though he may not yet name it as grace. The weight he carried for years will loosen its grip, and he will wonder why the silence feels safe again. It will be because forgiveness has finally reached him, your forgiveness, his own, and the forgiveness that flows from the divine. In that stillness, love will no longer be a puzzle to solve. It will be an energy that moves naturally between you, needing nothing, asking for nothing, just existing as light. When he thinks of you then, his heart will not race in fear, it will expand in peace. He will understand that you were never the pain he ran from, but the calm he was meant to return to. And you, dear one, will no longer wait. You will walk forward, fully alive, your steps guided by quiet certainty. The universe will meet you with people who speak your language of light, with opportunities that mirror your growth. You will realize that love was never lost, it was simply maturing into its true form. Do not rush to see the ending. Every day is a page in a story that eternity is still writing. Trust the author. The divine never forgets its promises. When the time is right, paths cross again, not to repeat, but to redeem. Until then, keep tending your peace. Speak kindly to your own heart. Let joy find you in the smallest places, sunlight on your face, wind through your hair, laughter that surprises you. Each moment of joy is a prayer answered. The past has done its work. The future is already in motion. What remains is the present, the sacred space where love becomes real. And in that space, the truth that was hidden will finally reveal itself: he was never truly gone, you were never truly alone, and love was never truly broken. It was only waiting for both hearts to open their eyes. There comes a time when the soul no longer needs to look back, when it understands that the story was never meant to end in sorrow but in transformation. You are stepping into that time now. The divine is not asking you to forget, it is asking you to begin again, this time with eyes open to truth, heart steady in peace, and spirit aligned with purpose. You may feel the quiet pull of something new calling you, not a person, not a plan, but a presence. That presence is God moving closer, guiding you into the season where you walk not by memory but by faith. Every ending that once hurt is now becoming a doorway. Every unanswered question is becoming a path of light. He, too, is being guided, perhaps along a different road, yet under the same sky of divine care. You do not need to know where his steps are leading, trust that they are guided by the same hand that carries you. Sometimes love's purpose is not reunion but awakening, and in awakening, both souls rise into the truth they were meant to live. You will start to notice signs, small, sacred alignments. A stranger's kindness that feels familiar. A word in a song that answers your prayer. A new idea that sparks joy in your chest. These are whispers from heaven, reminders that you are not drifting, you are being directed. The divine never wastes light. Every experience you have known is now wisdom inside you. That wisdom will become your compass. It will lead you to new opportunities, new faces, new expressions of love that reflect your growth. This is how grace works. It multiplies what you thought was lost and returns it in forms you never imagined. Your role now is to stay open. Keep saying yes to life, even when you do not know where it leads. Keep walking even when the road bends into mystery. Faith is not the absence of doubt, it is the decision to move anyway. And as you move, the path will reveal itself beneath your feet. The divine will continue to send confirmations, moments of warmth, peace, sudden understanding. Pay attention to them. These are not coincidences, they are gentle affirmations that you are aligned. Heaven celebrates every time you choose love over fear, forgiveness over anger, trust over control. This is a season of creation. A season of purpose. You are no longer healing from what was, you are building what will be. The energy you once gave to waiting is now being redirected into becoming. And as you become, you will draw to you everything that belongs to your light, effortlessly, naturally, divinely. One day, when you look back, you will see that none of it was random. The tears, the silence, the waiting, the release, all of it was a map leading you home to yourself, and through yourself, back to God. When the soul finally surrenders, life begins to speak in ways the mind can't explain. You start to see God's fingerprints in every small detail, in the way the light filters through morning clouds, in the way silence feels comforting instead of empty. You begin to realize that guidance was never far away, it was simply waiting for you to slow down enough to listen. This is where you stand now, not at the end of something, but at the beginning of everything true. The divine is calling you to walk not by memory, but by movement, not by expectation, but by surrender. Each breath you take in trust creates space for miracles to unfold. He is on his own path of awakening, and you must let him find his light in his own time. Your compassion can reach him through prayer, but your life must go forward in joy. You honor the connection not by holding on, but by shining so brightly that even from afar, he can see what freedom looks like. Your heart will not always understand the timing, but your spirit already knows. There are no delays in divine order. Every detour, every pause, every silence is still progress when guided by grace. The story you share with him may continue in another form, as memory, as blessing, or as a quiet understanding that love was never meant to possess, only to awaken. Now, your purpose expands beyond waiting. The light within you is meant to touch others, through your voice, your kindness, your presence. What you once thought was heartbreak was really initiation. It opened the sacred well of empathy inside you. Through it, you will help others remember that God's love never leaves, even when human love changes shape. Soon, you will feel the rhythm of a new season. Fresh inspiration will flow through you, new faces will appear carrying familiar warmth. These are not replacements, they are reflections of your new vibration. The universe always mirrors what you have become. Because you have healed, life will now respond with grace. So lift your eyes. The past has bowed and blessed you, now let the future rise. You are ready to receive what was always meant for you: peace that stays, love that uplifts, purpose that fulfills. And as you walk onward, remember, God does not just guide your path. He is your path. Every step you take toward truth is already wrapped in His light. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. You are exactly where you are meant to be, held, guided, and free. May peace find you in the quiet hours, when your thoughts grow still and your heart remembers its strength. May you feel the steady hand of the divine guiding you forward, whispering through intuition, moving through the smallest moments of grace. You have walked through the valley and found your light. You have learned that love is not something to chase, but something to become. Every lesson has shaped your soul into clarity, every tear has become a seed of compassion. Nothing was wasted. Now the road ahead glows with quiet promise. You will not have to force what is meant for you. It will arrive as easily as sunlight finds open windows. The right people will recognize your spirit. The right opportunities will meet you halfway. And the right love, when it comes, will not confuse your peace, it will deepen it. Walk gently into your next chapter. Carry gratitude like a lantern. Let faith be the rhythm of your days. And when doubt whispers, remember this truth: you are loved beyond measure, guided without pause, and protected by a plan far greater than your understanding. This is not the end of your story. It is the moment you step fully into grace.